Okay, so welcome back to part 2 of wrapping this car. I decided I'm probably just going to go with the same color roofing, just because this seal right here is red. And, it's just easier to just wrap it red since it's red. And the color looks so good that I think it's going to look better with the car as a whole rather than just the top being black. With that said, I've wrapped the bottom side skirt thing again, and it's holding up pretty good even though there's all these crazy curves and stuff like that. So we'll see how it does out in the sun. There on the sunroof version, there's a antenna thing right by the sunroof, and I decided I'm gonna delete that. So I'll show you guys in a minute what that looks like. And then I also did some more Bondo work on some of the dents and low spots. So let's take a look at those now. Okay, so here, the Bondo work is kind of like this. There's actually, if you look closely, see there's a little divot in there. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to Bondo it again before I wrap the roof. That way it will just be smooth, and it'd be like a little bit protruding, and then you would take the sander and then you just sand it out and make it smooth with the roof, and then you can just wrap it. I don't need an antenna. I don't like the way where this one's positioned anyway, so this is kind of reversible if you really wanted to. I can just cut the Bondo and then pull it out. Not that hard. I put something to fill that hole, so the whole thing is not Bondo. There's some cardboard under there just to have a surface for the Bondo to kind of hold up the Bondo. Over here I had a weird scratch on coming down this side. I don't know if that's new or whatever the heck, but I decided to put some right here. It was kind of a deep scratch, so I'm gonna sand that down. Over here, the front fender is a little bit ripply right here too, so put some more Bondo there. And I took these taillights off. That was interesting. But now I'm going to remove this piece, and then I'll start wrapping this back quarter panel since there's no Bondo work here, so let's do that. Okay, here it is. This is what we've got so far. So I did a lot of Bondo work here. It's a little hard to see just because it's dark. And then here I smoothed this out. So this was kind of like a low spot because there was a dent that was here that I tried to push out with a hammer or a screwdriver. It didn't go so well. But this feels really smooth to me, and I think that's gonna be okay because here you can see my Bondo work turned out pretty good. I don't see any, because there was a line that went like right here, but I don't see any difference. I do see some little dimples right there. Oh, it's annoying. I couldn't see that when I first did it, otherwise I would have filled that too. But if I have extra material, I might take this off and then re-Bondo this spot. So we'll see if we can fix that. That's slightly annoying. But here we got the roof Bondo spot on a NA non-turbo with a sunroof. I'm not sure if the turbo has this or not, but if you have the sunroof, then you most likely will have this one if it's a 91, where the antenna goes here. So there's a hole here, and there's a hole here, and then there's a big ass hole right here. So I did put some cardboard down under here. I just folded some cardboard, and then just so that it's something for the Bondo to lay on. then coat it once like you guys just saw, and then I coat it again. So now this is nice and like protrusive. Then I can sand that down. So I'll do some sanding and show you guys what that looks like after. Back here we got big old Bondo spot. This one I was gonna switch it with another trunk lid, but it didn't actually fit that well. So I'm using the trunk lid that's on it because the gaps are good. And then I'm just gonna shape this. You just get the sander wheel and you just pass that around until it's nice and smooth and you don't see a difference or feel a difference. All right, so let's get to sanding once again. Okay, so the prepping is pretty much all done. Here I got this all sanded down, so all the low spots are being covered by the Bondo. And right here, debadged the Toyota thing, debadged that. Up here, there's a little bit of, I lost some paint there. So I sanded that smooth. I'm gonna wrap all over this. Oh, missed the spot. So I'll sand that down too. Trying to find a spare piece to do the gas cap. Here we got this. Now this was a particularly kind of hard spot just because the hole is so big. So you can kind of see, this is a rectangle. So you can kind of see how the rectangle looks. But if you go down on an angle, you can see here that it's super smooth. Very nice transition. So once you have that, you're pretty much good. No one's inspecting this with a fine-tooth comb. That looks shaky, but once you wrap the whole thing, you can't even tell that that's there. And then finally, we got the front fender. This goddamn chicken. We got the front fender all done. You can see kind of like, yeah, that looks pretty good there. So some low spots here, low spots here. Okay, let's have a look at this whole driver's side that's all done. That color shifting is just so nice. Let's have a real quick look here. That's looking really nice. I'm not sure why it's coming up a little pink in the video, but everything is pretty much all done. So let's have a quick walk here. This gas cap still needs to be done. I haven't had a big enough piece to do this yet. And the little scrap pieces that I do have, once you pull the backing away from it, it gets contaminants. So I couldn't wrap this without contaminants on it, and I didn't like that. So I just decided to wait, because there'll be opportunities when I do the other parts of the car. Okay, so here we'll have a closer look at this door handle. So on this door handle, what you want to do is, you could do it as a separate piece, but I ended up just basically wrapping the whole thing and then outlining this little rubber trim around here. Okay, I cut out the rubber trim and then I cut it out again because you got to cut it out on where it touches the door and where it touches the door handle. And then if you just heat the stuff down really good and use that tucker tool, you can just get right on there and just cut along the edge real carefully with a really sharp blade. But you want to get your setup first, which is the piece right in here. You set that piece up so that when you go to do it, you see how there's like a seam running along this edge here. But because you set it up correctly, once you cut the inside piece, once you wrap the outside piece, you just do a little bit of a lead and you just fold it over. Here you fold all this under too. So see how it goes all the way under? So it's very nice. This piece, once again, did in one piece. Not on camera because this just takes a long time and it's a weird spot. So anyway, you basically just poke a hole right here and then you just work your way from the outside. These curves are really nice, but they're pretty easy to work into. And then here, this one's a little complicated, but with some patience, you can do it. It's not that hard. Okay. And then all the sanding that I did right here pretty much is smooth as silk. So that's pretty good. My weather stripping, I don't know why that rhino skin didn't stick on this side. It worked on the other side, so I'm gonna have to tape this off and redo it again. But the rhino truck bed liner stuff works really good. So what you want to do on this one is basically start with a nice and big piece. Okay, don't cut it exactly to the size of this engine lid, because yeah, you're gonna need to do some maneuvering. I decided to start in the middle, which might not have been a great idea because up here I did get a little bit of hazing if you look at it real close right there. But that's okay because no one's really looking there anyway. If I really wanted to, I can rewrap that part. So that part happens because it starts bunching up right here if you start in the middle. So I would probably suggest that you start here and then work your way from this point out and then down. But the only problem with that is that you might be putting too much downward pressure on this part here, and you might get some lifting. So I decided that I'd rather have that part be sketchy, and then this part where you can really see be nice. So I started here first. If you have the non-turbo version engine lid, then it's real easy. It's just a flat piece. It doesn't have these humps. These humps give you all the problems. But you basically just want to work your way to the corners and then heat it and then just smooth it out. So you heat it and then you anchor it around here like this. So it like kind of pitches a tent, and then you just smooth it out and work your way down. So basically that's what I did with all the corners. And but you want to pick a specific point to start from. So mine's there. You can do it from there or there or there. But you start from that point and work your way out as you go. So lots of patience and good amount of skill to be able to do this part. Now that it's all set up, you can just cut along this edge right here and then fold it over. And then this part, you're just gonna want to just razor. It's up to you. I would razor along this edge here and you just cut these whole parts out. If you razor down the middle, then you might have some lifting issues later on. But that's why I did this in red, because when you get to here, if I did this in green, you will see red under it. If I did any color other than red, you will see red under it. No way of wrapping this without seeing what's underneath, because these are so deep and they have a little edge under. So that's why I chose this color. Alternative is you could just plasti dip that whole part, take this whole thing off and plasti dip it black. But yeah, that's up to you, but then you won't match. So anyway, yeah, so right down here you do the same thing. You just smooth that out. Okay guys, that's it for this episode of how to wrap your MR2 and make it a show car on the outside. Of course, I have to do interior and I have to do the engine work later on, but for now this works for me because it's looking fly and the engine still works great, so I get to drive it to work and use it as a daily. Thank you guys again for watching. This episode was very technical and mostly it's inside the garage, so maybe it's a little boring for you guys. Those of you guys who watch, please hit me with a comment, like, and subscribe, and tell me what you think about this whole wrap and all this body work I'm doing, that straight up DIY style. Okay, so I'll catch you guys next time.